Hello, my people. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Great Area Podcast. Y'all know what we about. For those of you that don't know what we about, this is a podcast that basically talks about and discuss things, situations, topics, and whatever it is that people just don't want to talk about or they're afraid to talk about. We're doing that right here on the Great Area. And if you're here, whether on YouTube or Facebook, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And while you're here, just hit that share button. Hit that share button now. Invite a friend. Tell a friend. Get somebody engaged and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Y'all don't be scared. Last night we had a solid time. We had a good time. We had some fun. We had a couple laughs. We had a good time last night. Now, today is actually an extension of yesterday, whereas this is just branching off. We talked about holding on to toxicity, but now we are talking about toxicity in the household and family. It got to start somewhere now. And whether we want to believe it or not, we have a lot of toxic family members. We have a lot of toxic homes. Listen, we're going to talk about it. And I'd like to welcome everybody to the Great Area Podcast, where we talk about whatever it is. We talk about whatever it is that nobody else want to talk about. You know what I mean? So y'all, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Now, today's topic is a little more personal to a lot of people, because a lot of people go through stuff at home, and some people they know the environment that they're in is toxic. Whether you want to admit it or not, we have a lot of homes. We have a lot of broken homes. And when I say broken, I mean broken. I mean the toxic level is like, woo! It's so much for some people to bear, and you wonder why so many people angry. You wondering why so much people actually want to not be home. You wonder why a lot of people just, even during this COVID-19, as y'all can see, a lot of people were complaining, saying they don't like their family. They don't even want to be home. I saw a video where a young man was saying, look, he tired of seeing his family. He don't like them that much. Toxicity in the household and family. And we ain't playing tonight. So, like I said, welcome to the Great Area Podcast. And if you're here, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Y'all been holding me down from I started this. And while you're here, I recommend that you just hit that share button, share, invite a friend, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about these things that people don't want to talk about for whatever reason. And this is a serious subject. Whether we want to talk about it or not, it's real. O'Neill, what's happening? Wash hands. What's good, Nikki? Hi, Miss Jojo Johnson. Parito, let's be transparent today, of course. My good cousin Chucky, let's talk about it. Okay, now that we got the introductions out of the way, y'all, let's get it. Our society, as we know it, breeds, whether you like it or not, our society, whether we believe it or not, I'm talking about the household and family. We breed monsters. A lot of people are going to get offended, and whereas, now keep in mind, I want to be realistic. I'm not casting the blame on every household and every family, because some family and some households do a very good job at raising their child and raising their kids or raising their nieces and nephews and so forth. Then we have those households. We have those households that are toxic. When I mean toxic, you have this one not communicating with that one, because this one, and then you have this one being judgmental of that one. All of that is a part of toxicity. A family or your household is supposed to be the ones that uplift you. They are supposed to be the one that speaks life into you. It's not happening in our society today because it be those same households and family members that are tearing you and me down. Do we love our family? Yes. Will we go to war for them? Yes. Well, some people, if a car knock their family member, they wouldn't feel anything. You know what I mean? So, welcome everybody to the Gray Area Podcast, and this is a podcast whereas I am not here to shove my views and opinion down your throat. I'm here to give my views and opinion, but you, the audience, are allowed to give your views and your opinion. So let's see. She says it's always the mommy side of the family. We're gonna touch that in a minute. Finally, hi Livy, welcome. You finally caught the show. Welcome. Hi Verlin, what's up? What's good, Molly? What's up? Okay, the first question we have is, what do you define a good job? Let me get the other one. This one is more clear. What do you define a good job in raising your children? Now, that's a very good question. I have to take this from a personal perspective because what I consider doing a good job is, for me personally, I can only speak for me. I can't speak for the masses, but I believe in doing a good job in raising your children, and it's basically training them or installing in them what is right and wrong, not to contrary beliefs, but in the values that I believe in. I'm talking about person because you said, what do you define a good job in raising your parents? Like you teaching them or you giving them education on life. You giving them like the raw truth. Like I believe, like I have a daughter and I believe if y'all know, like I'm teaching my daughter, she loves to cook. So I show her how to cook. I call that doing a good job, teaching her like the techniques that she needs to survive through life, teaching her how to be independent, to not be dependable on others, teaching her my core values, which is Christian values, because I believe not everybody's Christian, but me, what do I define as a good job? Is it teaching them core values and principles of life and what they should and should not do, or basically for me, teaching them how to treat people, even though I'm one of the worst people in the world, but I don't want my child or my seeds to be like me. I want them to be better than me, and making sure that they understand that, hey, come on, once you start something, if it's positive, you should finish it, encouraging them, uplifting them. When they make a mistake, say, hey, it happens. It happens. You know what I mean? And for me personally, it's not like a financial thing for me, because a lot of people don't have it. It ain't all the time that I'm gonna have it to say, hey baby girl, here, you want this? It isn't. So I believe teaching them how to do without sometimes, like you're not gonna always have it. So that way, when they get older, to become in the real world, to be in the real world, they will know that everything isn't gonna go their way. Like we have parents, right, that teach their child that they should have whatever they want all the time. And if they don't get what they want all the time, then they should make a way to get it. That's opening doors to basically teaching your child to say, look here, do whatever you got to do to get what you need. And that could be interpreted as, okay, my mommy said this, then I'm going to do whatever it takes, even if I have to do this or that. I don't care. My mom said, do whatever it takes. It's basically my values, my core beliefs, responsibility, accountability, and basically teaching them durability and so forth. I always believe that, you should always train your child not to be like you, but to be better than you. But that's another topic for another day. Livy said, she ain't lie. Mommy family is hiding, but they toxic in many ways. Why y'all gotta do moms like that? There are some mothers that their side of the family are actually better. I can't speak personally because anyway, I don't want to bury my mom's family, but boy, we gotta get in that. Maybe say like jealous aunts. Yes, jealousy is a sign of toxicity in the family. Rather than people be supportive, not people, rather than family or household, the people that you live with, you see them every day. Rather than they be happy for you, the things that you fight to go through, whether it becomes a degree, a good job, whether, if you pass an exam, sometimes they're so jealous because they've never been there or they never had that opportunity. They would show something like, well, you won't need that anyway. Okay, this is what I want to do. I can't understand. She thinks she better than us. And that's in a lot of families in our society today. She thinks she better than us because she have an education. Like, what? I mean, I thought we supposed to encourage our child's education, especially if that's what they want. And it isn't even as children. We have toxicity in our family and household as adults. I'm just that's just going back or rewinding back to when we were kids. But I mean, even now, when we are as adults, we have judgmental, critical. We have family and households that basically demoralize you. They brutalize you. They criticize every decision you make, even if that decision don't even concern them. Because a lot of people think ensuring that their child's needs are met is a good job, and that's not so. I agree. I can't disagree with that because there's more to your child than their needs. I wouldn't say their needs, but there are other needs. There are more than one need. Financially is one need. Morally is another need. Spiritually, if you're on that path, that's another need. So we have to understand and we have to recognize. See, the first thing is, right? The first thing for us is identifying the traits and the characteristics of toxicity in the household and family. Because a lot of us, we go through these things and we think it's normal. It ain't. We have family and we live in places, and the way that we live with one another in these places, we actually think that's normalcy. And we think we are so accustomed to it. We are oblivious to the fact that it's so toxic that we become a part of that environment. And it's been proven. We don't identify that, hey, this right here is toxic. She said, yes, you are one of the worst. Oh, most definitely. I'm one of the worst people I know. But I don't want my daughter. I always say, if my daughter is like me, Lord help whoever she decides to marry. Hello. Hello, Miss Monroe. Welcome to the show. And yes, Ashley, it's for too long, right? We always focus on the bigger picture. I say the bigger picture. Let me break that down. We always focus on why crime so high, right? Or why so much dudes on the blocks? Why that man don't want to go home? Why would he rather hang out to the bar with his friends? These simple things. Sunny's view on raising a child in a good way is instilling great morals, values, and religion, teaching them various beliefs and to respect everyone and their beliefs. I like that. Teaching them to earn and not feel entitled. Man, Sonny, you just basically elaborating what Aparto said, and that's true. I feel like that's the foundation to any great parenting. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And that entitlement stood out to me, because a lot of people as adults now, the way that they carry themselves is like they can't see things besides their way. Like we are so blinded as individuals. We feel an entitlement. Look here. I don't care what you say. You say this blue, I want it to be gray. We have that sense of entitlement, and that starts right there. That's a toxic trait. Nikki says, when you feed your kids, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, body, mind, and soul, and learning how to apologize as a parent when we're wrong and we know it. I love that. One toxic trait is in the household and family is we ain't apologizing. We expect to tell our family and those that live in our household about their big this and their stink that and their deep composed this and that. And then we expect tomorrow for everything to be okay. All of that is just adding on top of adding and adding and adding. And later on down the line, that can become hatred, animosity, grief, depression. Oh, you old dirty dog. And I'm not even talking about joking, because y'all know in our society we joke with these things. But I'm talking like literally demoralizing our family. You ain't no good. You a slut. You a hoe. All you do is like too much mind. Like, come on, like toxicity at its finest. And we do these things in our society. We think it right, and we think, hey, this is okay. No, it's not okay. I'm not built for tough like you. The words that you speak, even the way you treat me, are affecting me. I could just probably go on Paradise Island Bridge and just jump because I feel like my family and my household don't love me because the things that they say, you ain't nobody, you ain't gonna be nobody. You worse than a bum. You a scumbag. You might as well go with your whore friends. A simple thing we say to people can basically demoralize and cause the person to go in a trance. And I'm not even talking generally kids. I'm talking about adults. Some adults can't take that. We get some of these comments. Sonny says, and they wonder why these kids steal. Because you raise them to believe they're supposed to always have this or that, but not teach them to earn. That's true. And some of our parents, we grow our children in a way where, you know, we grow them up in a way where basically, you know, that, hey, man, like, yeah, that's nothing wrong. Like, let me tell you how I treat my daughter. I treat her like a queen, and I give her whatever she wants, you know. I give her whatever she wants because I want her to know that I'm her provider, and this is how she's supposed to be treated. That's one thing. Now, when it comes to a point when I don't have it, I sit down and I explain, hey, baby, daddy don't have no money. And she says, so when are you going to have money? I say, when I get money, okay? Daddy has to go to work. And she says, okay, go to work, daddy, so you can make more money. You know, it starts there. Oh, let's go Long Island. When my daddy say, I'm a princess, and a princess gets what she wants. Once I get sad, both my BF and dad will say, okay, anything to you. Gotta sip some water on that. There's nothing wrong with your dad treating you, even your boyfriend, treating you as a princess, you know, and you get what you want. But it becomes a problem where, I'm not saying specifically you, it becomes a problem where in situations folks can't get what they want. Then all of a sudden it's tantrums and all kind of crazy things because they're so accustomed to always getting what they want. That can be a toxic trait, to basically think that you're entitled to always get what you want. Boy, she could only be a Russell preaching like so. Boy, I know but them Russells, they're dangerous. Sonny says, no lie, Jason. Mummy's side wouldn't for real though. Man, I I don't want to get in too much my mommy side, but I'm gonna hop on them in a minute. I'm gonna hop on them in a minute. Man, it can be both sides, you know. Look here, toxicity can be on both sides, mommy side and daddy side. Sometimes the daddy side is more accommodating. You know what I mean? The percentage leans more to the father's side because they're more accommodating. But listen, we all have traps, the aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, and so forth, and this and that. Livy says, learning to apologize is big because Caribbean parents don't apologize. Well, look here. We having a good time tonight. Y'all preaching on here. Truth and facts. They'll talk to you like a dog, call you everything, and then go to church on Sunday, a Honda, Mitsubishi, Mercedes, Benz, a Volvo, Hyundai accent. I love the Lord. And talk to you like a dog. You ain't no good. That same God you serving said to speak life. We don't even say sorry for mistreating our children. Like for years, like we have some parents, they'll treat you like a dog for years. I only treat you like this because I love you. Love? No. Love does not hurt. Love corrects. Yes, and correction may hurt. But love does not constantly hurt, does not constantly make you suffer. We have parents that think, not even parents, man, we have family that think that constantly demoralizing people and giving them bad treatment is okay. And they'll know they do you wrong. For years, they know they'll do you wrong. And I don't even want to go here, but I gotta say it because it's in my point. Like you have some rape victims, right? We have some rape victims that are raped, molested, sexually traumatized by family or someone in their household when they were younger, and even when they grew adults. They never took responsibility for their dirty, sick actions to say, you know what? I know what I did to you. I'm sorry. Instead, we make silly and stupid excuses. I was young, man, you know. No. If you have the decency to understand, right, that was your family or someone in your household, be big enough to apologize. Like, come on. And it's sickening. It's going on in our society that if you're paying attention to what's happening, we have family members, they'll do you these things. I don't care if it's 20 years ago. They'll do these things to these people. And as far as they're concerned, all that will make you tough, man. Sonny says, Livy, child is carry on like apologizing is a sin. Straight facts. What am I apologizing to you for? And then we wonder when these child act out and we telling them, or say sorry. No, why are they saying sorry? They don't even know what sorry is. They don't even know what it is or means to be sorry. How can they be me? How can they understand the word sorry if they never heard it or understand it? And these family members swear you forget the things they said when you were kids. I ain't forget though. You see what I'm saying? Like even as adults, right? They say these things to us, demoralizing us, calling us everything. Listen, I believe it doesn't happen, right? But I believe, right? You got to start somewhere. First, you got to identify the problem. And we have too much poison and toxic in these families, and it extends to society, right? They would say and do the most craziest things to us. And as adults, they expect us to just forget. You didn't die, right? You didn't die, right? And then they expect us to be okay. Like, shoot, you half kill me. Now I'm suffering from emotional trauma. I suffer from my anxiety. Shoot, I might even be schizophrenic. I'm bipolar. Nikki said, keep up with us today. I'm going to try. You need to talk about the family members who try to push you to pursue jobs. That's a sign of toxicity right there. They want to live through you. Oh, shoot, man. Tell you why you went there, man. Why you went there? Who push you to pursue jobs, a career path you don't want to just because they never had that opportunity? I don't want to be a nurse. You wanted to be a nurse. I don't like to deal with sick people. It's not my calling to bring people back to life. I don't want to be no surgeon. You think I like to see guts? I don't want to deliver babies. I don't want to be a police officer. I never liked cops. Why you want me to be a cop? Because you never had a chance to be a cop. No. That's toxic. You forcing your will on that person. And it is listen, it don't only be mothers and it don't only be mothers, it don't even be mothers and family, mothers and fathers, It be your whole family. Like they come together in a meeting. So yeah, you don't want to join the force, man. So what happened? You want to be a Jones? Say, no, I just don't want to be. I just don't want to be a police. So what happened? Being a police too good for you? No, I just don't want to be a police. So what, you don't want to serve and protect your country? No, I just don't want to be a police. Man, you could see you will be a no good dog. Like, come on. When I was younger, I wanted to be a police, but I was too busy raising y'all. I had to do what I had to do to take care of y'all. You know what I mean? So I couldn't be a police. So the least you could do is try to be a police. So you could show me I do a good job raising you. No. Basically making these children depressed, man, because we can't please you. And he said, listen, you are preaching. What about jealous mothers who speak down on their daughters because their daughters are doing better than them? Oh, man, let me sip my water. Y'all lucky I don't drink, Because these topics, you need some Hennessy and crime sometimes. But I don't drink. My hair is too light. Next thing you see, I'm here cursing out everybody. And I've seen that. Listen, I've seen mothers, right, that their daughters are successful business people on the same line, on the same business or whatever, doing the same thing. And because their business is booming more than them, they feel the need to be jealous. No, man, you doing your thing. I support you. At least I know my child she's focused on her craft. But no. Oh, she making more money than me now? So you think you better than us, because you have your little business booming? No, I don't think I'm better than you. This is where my focus is. So I'm just trying to better myself as an individual. Like, whether you all want to admit it or not, sometimes we have parents that are jealous of their kids, And I want to extend it more than parents. Sometimes we have people who live in the same house as you, they jealous. You get married, all of a sudden, I can't wait till I get married. My wedding be bigger than this. All of a sudden now, I wouldn't even talk about if you have a party. Mom, when I have my party, this party ain't about you. It's my birthday party. It ain't about you. Boy, when my birthday come around, boy, I ain't having no joke. I'm not having no jokey rum, man. What? Nobody drink Bud Light. When I have my party, Hennessy and Crown. Huh? Absolute. Tito's vodka, boy. Huh? You're all joking, Stoli. Huh? 100% Crown with Bluebird. Now, why? Just celebrate with me right now, man. Don't make it about you right now. Come on, man. And it's sad. Trying to keep up with y'all today. Some family members love to broadcast their child well-doing and try to compare your life to theirs. Oh, shoot. And I want to extend on that, Some family members, they like to broadcast their business on the whole. You think I want Mary Sue down the road to know that I just went to the bank for a loan? No, that ain't Mary Sue business. Oh, when I was young, I never used to do half of these things they do. I don't know why they feel like, they should do these things. And listen, let me tell you how toxic families are, right? And this is one of my points. Pregnancy. Yes, you don't want your child to be a fornicator. Yes, okay, I agree. Christian nation. You don't want your child to be out there having unprotected sex. I agree. Oh my gosh, that baby, that person already got pregnant, right? And now you want to say, oh, you a whore? Hold on, mom. You had me when you were married. No, but I was responsible, so I'm not responsible. Why am I a whore? Because I had a child out of wedlock, and you're not a whore because you had a child out of wedlock. Why, mom or daddy, are you better than me? My brothers and sisters, they've been here before you and mommy get married. So am I not no? Am I no good? So you're good then. Yes, you didn't want me to have a child out of wedlock, but the child is here. Oh, I wash my hands off you. Why? Did your mother wash their hands off you? These families in these homes, they're too toxic. Neglect, that's neglect. That's a form of neglect. That's emotional neglect. And that's a form of no support. We've made a mistake. Okay, now how are we going to move forward? Why do we constantly bring down? It's been going on so long, it's considered normal. Anything outside of that is being white. So true. You think you're white, it is a black family. If you want that kind of privilege, you might as well go in a black life. And our parents say for some reason they love to live through us, boy. Shelly says, well, on my side, if you're a female and have a child, one or two, and not married, you're looked down. Mother, I didn't even see this before. See, all up in my points and things. But if you're fully educated and married, then you're considered the family favorite, which is wrong. Families do bring each other down. Facts. A child isn't the end of the world. And listen, it was one time, right, where I had this argument with my mom, right? I love my mom. We buck heads, right? But I had an argument with my mom, right? She was telling me what I should or who I should not date or whatever, right? And so I was like, man, mom, you already lived your life. Oh, that don't mean nothing. I bring you here and I could take you out, mom. You already lived your life. You can't live through me. Like, come on, man. Yes, trying to live their life through you. Listen, this is happening right now in society. You speak to half of these people in these career paths, right? The majority of them always say, I only went here because, my mom wanted me to do this. I heard about that. Thank God my mom doesn't have that issue. I thank God for your mom. True gem. What's good, Chevette? Welcome. Yep, or compare their kids. Yes. Oh, so your sister could do this, so why you can't do that? Your sister could act like this. Come on, man. Listen, God did not make two individuals. Even twins don't have the same fingerprint. Why you expect me to be like my big brother? That's a toxic trait to have. To put comparison between your children, that's basically causing separation. Separation starts in the home, and y'all wonder why so many of us are freaked up. In general, I can't say so many of you, so many of us, because we in this together. We are freaked up because the household and the family members, they don't teach us core values and they don't teach us these things. And we go through life doing these same things. That's why we think it's the norm. What's good, Lady I? Welcome to the show. Abby says, I don't know why mothers are jealous of their own seeds. They should be proud, not jealous. Boy, listen. I've seen some cases where their daughter gets their hair done. So you didn't want to get my hair done, eh? So what I can't get my hair done? Come on, man. I'm not. Anyway, I'm not going there tonight. Before these mothers say I'm coming for them. Yes, I always laugh and tell my daughter sorry when I'm wrong because I like reciprocity even in her old age. I, anyway, I was gonna say something that I didn't want to say. Y'all would believe, right? Y'all wouldn't believe that we have a lot of parents that tell us, cool, why am I apologizing to you? And this keep coming up, so I gotta address it. Why am I apologizing to you? Right? And it's crazy because where we get this thing that we are not supposed to apologize. And I like how you said you want reciprocity even in her older age because you are planning that in her. Listen, a lot of our parents don't have reciprocity, you know. They'll anyway. I'm not bearing these parents. This is the family and household. See, y'all got me stuck on these parents. That's right, you speaking the truth. We all speaking the truth. Vernon says, I know it all too well. O'Neill says, speak about the currency of beauty in society and household. This one is a pretty one. This one has soft hair, very insulting. Woo! O'Neill, I'm going to try to keep up with y'all tonight. That right there. You think she had to come up with that ugly hair? Why your hair couldn't be soft like your sister? And it starts from the household and the family, you know, and it stems into society. This one is a pretty one. That one, you must be taken off this par because he don't have all that looks. Basically causing the child to have no self-esteem. No self-esteem. And you wonder why, hey. No self-esteem. And you wonder why. Lisa says, in my case, my dad spoils me. And because of that, my mother became bitter. Oh, Lord. Mom, these are the views and opinion of Denise Ritchie. Yes, I am a friend, but we do not share the views and opinions. In my case, my dad spoils me, and because of that, my mother became bitter and favored my brother. Mother flip, testify it. It happens. You see mothers attached to their sons, especially single moms, because their sons are seen as the providers. As long as y'all know, they like to say their daughters cheat. It shouldn't be like that. I throw tantrums, so I can't relate. I ain't gonna comment on that. Jason, don't do it. You know Bum Bum is your pride and joy. Anything for her. Spoil, you know how fathers go with their daughters. I agree, but I do say no. I mean, I had a talk with my boss them at work, and they said I need to practice saying no to my daughter so she can learn the meaning of no. And I have. I might not say no 100 times, but I mean, 2 times out of 100 is a start. You know what I mean? I'm starting from somewhere. At least I seek advice from them. I had this conversation with my boss them at work, and they said, Jason, you can't be doing that. I mean, I listen maybe 2% of the way, but you know what I mean? But I mean, hey, facts. Toxicity is a big problem in the Bahamian community. Then society wants to laugh, point, and ridicule these kids when they bring home the averages. Teach, uplift, and empower where and when you can. The average. Boy, wait till you see these results. It's a big problem in the Bahamian community because you know where it starts? in the household and family. We expect the world raising our children. I don't know if y'all believe the world raising our children. I don't want to be stuck on parenting, right? But y'all have me stuck here. Family in general. Shelly agreeing with Berlin. Lord, I do not agree with the views and opinions. Everybody, I have to make these clear. That's my mommy's side you talking about. Toxicity. They're just messy. That messy. I'm glad that word. Mess. Sometimes these family in these homes, they swim in mess. And they encourage mess. We know things that these people shouldn't do, and you know what we do? We cloak. Too long we be cloaking, man. Families like to cloak. You know your brother is a no good thieving scumbag, bringing all kind of electronics home. Yeah, bro, make sure I get one of them too, you know. Cloak. That's toxic. Come on, man. I'm keeping up with y'all tonight. What is an apology? Boy. All I know is when they wrong, instead of saying sorry, they justify what they did. So true. You deserve that. No, I got to do that because I love you. Shelly says, we all have that one cousin we just don't bother with. Fox, what? I'm going to get there in a minute. Anthony Green. Hence the reason for this topic. It's so true. Before they aid, they prefer to bash and ridicule others like they weren't once there or know someone who is. But you can't blame them. They went through the same cycle. It's sad but true. There is a very small percentage of people who realize what they went through growing up was toxic and plan to address it and do better. Others just follow along about, and I find myself doing it sometimes. You see the effect of toxicity in these family, in these households where we live it, these environments where we live it, what we call home. You find yourself doing it sometimes. And sometimes we go ahead in life and we never address it. Mom, you think you had to talk to me like that? They never say, I know I put you do these to you, but I just want you to know I'm sorry. No, they ain't doing that. You turn out just fine, right? I'm emotionally scarred, Mom. I'm emotionally scarred, Daddy. I can't open up to people because you all have me broken. That's why when y'all don't have a good relationship, they claim they don't know how that happened when all they do is try their best. These families and these homes, they can't ever see. Let me stop saying they. We can't ever see when we wrong. You mistreat me, you round me every day, talking bad about me, calling me everything, a dog, a rat, a raccoon, a bird. Everything. A politician. And you try your best? By what? Providing for me? You brought me here. I didn't ask to be here. You know what get me about us as parents, right? Like we feel all of a sudden that the child owes us something. We feel like, listen, let me make myself clear. I'm not saying to neglect your parents. I'm not saying in their old age to not take care of them. No. I'm talking about when they feel like we owe them something. Like, you think I had you just to be here for fun? You think I had you just to come lay up here? No. You brought me here. Until I am responsible, it's your job and my family's job to take care of me. I did not ask to be here. I try my best with you, and you still don't act. You know why I'm acting this way? Because the way you treated me. Now I can't take it no more. Straight facts. Libby, she's spitting straight facts. Libby says, my mom guilted me into staying in Nassau instead of going off to school. You're leaving your family, eh? So what, you just could leave me and just go off to school like that? See what I'm saying? Man, you're stuck in on these parents. I'm rolling with you all, man. We should not have to do these things. That's to manipulate your child is toxic. To manipulate your family is toxic. To manipulate your household is toxic. You manipulating me. So when you gonna just leave me just like that after all I've been through with you? I sweat tears and I fall down with you. I'm trying to better myself. I feel this is a better opportunity for me. I get up and I fall down with you. And this how you gonna repay me? But by grace, I found a great job. Thank you, goodness. Because sometimes people don't be that blessed. Mom made me sign up for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I pray they never call me. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be a police. But let me on a real though. I always thought that you were gonna be a police in high school though. But wait. Leave the drinking to me. You better believe that. Denisha said, always with this. Get a government job. You will be straight. Listen, I don't know why the people in the family members think that we should just set up a government job. Well, try to get a government job, even if you get 1 foot in. Don't worry about that. Nah, I'm not bashing a government job because I'm a civil servant. I'm saying it doesn't end there. And you will be straight. Listen. You all know what some people go through on these government jobs. I'm just saying. That's all we know. No matter how much we fight the urge of toxicity, we end up following along. It's embedded within us. Wow. It has to be embedded because it's all we know. The family toxic. Buddy. And that's so sad, man. I was 11 or 12 when an aunt called me a slut. Didn't even know what a naked man looked like. Never kissed a boy or even hold hands. Thinks you know I remember that. You see what I'm saying? Like you putting things on come on, an 11-year-old, you calling an 11 or 12-year-old a slut? You gotta be crazy. You basically opening your mouth, you speaking these things on an individual and they're nothing like it. You basically speaking that on them. What happened to speaking positivity? Why were we so negative? Can you imagine my daughter, 11 or 12-year-old, and somebody call us? Anyway, see y'all trying to cause me get emotional. I try not to be. I'm trying to be transparent. Toxic, man. And you expect what? Them to grow up and say, oh, I love my auntie. I'm not saying they hate, but I'm just saying, like, come on. You speak these things over me. How do you expect me to feel about you? That's what you think of me. I'm a slut. You wondering where all this bad energy coming from. They right there next to you. Hating in the slick, praying for you to fail. And that's so sad, Sonny Dread. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. Maybe agreeing with Denisha. Biscuit said, yes, they love talking your business, but won't talk when they husband cheat. No, Lord, you went far. Their lives, like some of our family members' lives, are shambles and shambles. I mean, some of our family members' lives are like muddier than the pig pen, dirty, filthy. I don't even want to talk about skeletons in the closet because I have a graveyard. So I don't even want to use that terminology or that analysis. No, I don't even want to use that. Some of their situation are so overbearing and they're so fixated on you. You so toxic, right? To the fact that you can't even focus on your toxic life. You want to bring toxic. You want to now take your toxicity, and you want to pass it on just because you ain't toxic and judgmental. True. I'm trying to keep up with you all tonight. Like you force them to juice and bring us their facts. They've been living their best life, flipping backwards. They want to call you a whore when you get pregnant before marriage, but oh Lord. But if you have an abortion, they ready to call you a murderer. Family members and people need to mind their own business. I'm about to need that Henny and apple juice, man. It's so crazy, right? It's so crazy, right? They put so much pressure, like family and the homes. They put so much pressure on an individual. If you get pregnant, you a dog, you a dirty, you a whore, you a harlot, you're no good pipe slinger, you ain't nobody. And the minute if you say, you know what, I'm not gonna have this baby, or so what? You see anybody kill babies in our family? Like, make up your mind. He's so toxic. We don't even stand for what we believe. If you have a baby, you're a whore. If you kill the child, you're a murderer. Now, I'm not telling anybody to get pregnant or wedlock. I believe in Christian values. But my gosh, they feel like they can't even, they don't want their parents to know these things, so they go have an abortion. You know why? Because their family is so toxic. My Grammy always telling me I need to get married. When I ask her why, she just said it's better to be married. I got married. But when I turn around and tell her, but your husband leaves you, she mad. Sometimes you gotta check these family members. You gotta check them. It's better to be married. I got married. Your husband leave you, though, Grammy? Oh man, you're struggling and they mad. Why are they like that? I don't even know. Just because I can make my struggle look better than some of my family members, they think. They look here. Sometimes I can't even buy me one little $2 wings, $3 wings and fries from Dorian's. Pick up Dorian's. Y'all see how much advertisement I'm giving y'all? No, Dorian's, hey Dorian's, the gray area. You making your struggle look good, and they mad. Just because I'm not talking about my struggle don't mean I ain't struggling. Some people will literally be jealous of your struggle. Family members and the people you live with will be jealous of your struggle. They don't even know what you're going through, how you going through, how you surviving, how you eating, how you sleeping, if you sleeping comfortably, if you have a bed or you sleeping on the floor. They don't even know when they mad. You struggling to pay rent, they mad because you could pay rent. And anyway. Some parents can't accept that their child is doing better than them at that age. Don't you? They had 10 babies with 10. Oh, shoot, she went there. But yet they judging you. 10 of us. All out of wedlock, by the way. And now I'm a whore because I decide to have a child. But not decide. Sometimes it don't be decided. Sometimes we have it. It just happens. And some don't even know they. Oh, Lord, she opened up another can of worms. Some know, at least I know my baby daddy or my baby mama. Mommy, who's my daddy? Don't worry about it. I taking care of you. I can't stand when people say we still family though. No, listen. Let me check my time. 59:06. Just because someone is your family doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life. Blood ain't thicker than a piece of mind. Period. Man, I can't disagree there. Sometimes, yeah, we still family, but I don't want your toxicity around me. You're too toxic for me. You still family though, and I want to elaborate on that. They'll do you the worst things, like family, and the people you live with will do you the worst thing. We still cool though. Not even anyway. I don't want to sound like a preacher. Parents love to look down on you because you're not doing what they want. Key fact. And want to call you rebellious and put you out. They don't care if you at your lowest point. They just want you out. And so listen. If anybody know me, I hate parents that basically force their child out of their home just because they don't agree with what you want them to be, or they don't agree with how you want them to live. I'm not talking about, listen, I'm not talking about when a parent is saying, hey, look here, you know, you got to do this right and this and that, and follow the rules of the house. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you working, you basically living, you doing your best, you paying bills and you doing whatever. And just because you don't want to be doing what they want you to do, they want you to add MSG in your rice and say, Mommy, I don't like MSG. But I told you to put MSG in the rice. You so rebellious. I don't want MSG in the rice. But what I say, now you're rebellious. They'll put you out for the stupidest things. Or since you don't want to follow my rules, get on my house. And I'm not even talking about if the child is disrespectful and hitting you and all that. No, I'm not. I'm talking about a child who's genuinely there, trying to, make the best of their life. Get on my house. You two women can't live in the same house. I agree, that's true. Two women can't live in the same house at the same time. But come on, man, where's the common ground? You try to keep up with y'all. Y'all on fire. Like she said, honestly, it's mostly in the Caribbean. Reason being, we're raised to be proud and raised to think we should look up to our elders. So as long as they're older, they're considered wiser. Or even when wrong, we can't talk back or counter-react because it's considered respectful. Disrespectful. I don't get it. I agree. Like they feel like they don't need, nobody is above correction. And we have family, just because they're older than us, they think that they can't be corrected. Like, no, what you're saying don't make no sense. I don't agree with it. So what, you think you're smarter than me now? You came here after me. I don't care. You came here after me. So all of a sudden now, you just, Johnny come lately. Johnny come lately. Facts. Johnny come lately. You think you arrived? No. I'm just saying that I don't agree with your moronic opinion. What kills me the most is that parents can't admit they are wrong and their child is right. They'll try to kill them. The law would have to blow the trumpet before they do that. And that note, my classes are called to catch up. Enjoy the class, Nikki. Some mothers would also destroy their children's relationship or marriage. Mothers, you want something. Even telling you what type of female or male to be with, even down to their nationality. Oh, shoot. Woo! Bahamas. A good Jamaican is a dead Jamaican. Don't like them Haitian, man. I don't care if they born here. No, boy, Haitians to steal all their money. That time them Bahamians been robbing them, Not, I'm a Bahamian. I'm just saying. I think, for me, it's so crazy that we like to choose the nationality of our children or relatives and tell them who they should and who they should like and who they should date. You better keep that. Try to find yourself a Bahamian man there. No, don't go there mixing up with all kind of Jamaican Chinese. No. If that person makes you happy and their and they are there to uplift you and they help building you up, then I support you. Now, probably if they from Haiti, now Naya, look here. If when you watch this in the future, if they directly from Haiti, coming from someone of Haitian descent, don't do it, don't do it. I mean, I just had to get that in there. But it's true. And they'll destroy, listen, you have some mothers, they'll destroy your relationship with an individual. All because they don't like that person for you. Crazy, man. Some parents want you to be an adult when it's beneficial. So true. They don't want you to stand up for yourself. Shelly says, growing up Haitian. Oh, Sonny says, growing up Haitian, I ready to tell my story. Sonny, it ain't only Haitians, you know. Bahamians too. Jamaicans too. I don't know about Chinese because, you know, I mean, you know, I guess you could more elaborate on that. They feel like they could choose. Look, it don't bring this nationality to me. I wipe my hands off you. You bring this nationality in the family, I wipe my hands off you. When I was younger, I would get so upset because my parents were harder on me in school than my brothers. But as I got older, I realized they knew I was more academically inclined than he was. And sometimes it does work out that way. When they see potential in you, oh, Marty, I love this. We need to learn from our parents' mistakes and try to correct them with our children. So true. In that case, sometimes it's hard for some people to learn from their parents' mistakes, you know. And I'm not even talking about mistakes as in only bad decisions. I'm talking about mistakes in how they raised you. Sometimes that's all we know, Molly. You know what I mean? Like we grew up in a household seeing fights all the time. Mommy and daddy fighting, cousins, auntie, you think of, so we grew up thinking, look, to survive, you gotta fight and knock out some teeth. You know what I mean? And we think that's the right way to deal. We don't have no problem solving abilities because we never knew any. We don't have no conversational abilities because why? Our parents or our family members never gave us a conversation. We don't know these things. So it's easy to say, try to correct them with our children. It's so easy to say, but how can we teach correction when we never even know what's correction? I mean, people will say common sense, but there's no such thing as common sense because what's common to you might not be common to me. It's a very good point. You're only an adult when the bills come around. And even if you pay bills, you don't have no say. Toxic. Any other time, you're just a child with no say. Man, you're preaching, trying to keep up with y'all tonight. So the expectations were different. They knew his strengths and mine. I like some family and some parents, they know your weaknesses and your strengths, and they can encourage you based on your strengths. There's nothing wrong with that. I can agree with that. My auntie only checks for her light-skinned nieces and nephews. Boy, that's another thing. Your favorites based on color and the little curly hair. We don't like that nappy hair, child. Toxicity in the family and household is exactly why generational curses keep being perpetrated. You really have to be aware and take responsibility and make changes to break the cycle. Awareness is a serious thing, but awareness can only happen when we are exposed to the truth. And sometimes in these homes and families, they're so overbearing and overshadowing the truth that we don't even know. They need to accept the fact not every child would be an A, B, or C average in school. Support your child and their strengths and stop focusing on their weakness. So true. And that's another thing is some families, they spend more time tearing down even your houses than building. Like you see, right? Like for example, you see that person, he's good at doing hair. But what you think being a barber will pay your bills? Like, come on, encourage. That's the dude. That's what he wants to do. Encourage him. Where you going trying to be a barber? Toxic, man. Them government jobs easy. Just ask ball easy. No, no, don't mix me up. You know better than that. You know better than that. I feel like settling alone is toxic. Boy, that settling word. I feel like I deserve the best. I will leave settling for the rest. You rhyming now. So, you all know I can't sing. Don't cost me start to say. And I tell my kids this all the time, teaching them from now, they're leaders and they can move mountains if they wanted to, rather than being like the few toxic people I had around me, not my parents, but the masses that wanted me to fail and not amount to anything. The best is yet to be, though. So true. You have to teach these children, like, hey, come on, you smart. You a leader. If you set your mind to this, you can do that. Rather than that's what you want to do. I don't think you should do that. Why? I just don't think you should do that. You can't find something else to do. Toxicity, man. Toxic family members, I just ignore them. Can't pay them no mind. That's easy for you to say. For you, that happens for you. But sometimes you see these people every day. You can't ignore them. It's so hard to ignore. It's so hard for you to ignore these toxic households and these toxic families. Then she agree. Soon as baby reach day one, say, bring my baby though. That boy, that's a serious thing, you know. Government jobs only get you straight for a Lord. Why half of the government owe the bank? Miss, you wanted a bastard baby or a murderer? Cause I don't even know my daddy, boy. You don't know my daddy, boy. These people play too much. That's true. They don't know our father, right? Man, it's crazy, you know. It's crazy. Welcome to the gray area, Randy. They carry you hard for having a kid before marriage, but look at their life with why y'all stuck on this 10, man? Come on, man. Everybody can't have 10 children, man. With 10 different kids for multiple men, and some of them with a side guy living right down the road from the main family. Sounds like Cat Island. Must be Andra say. Truth. Obviously, some families are just like leeches. If they think you have money, they'll try suck you dry. That's another thing. They think you're the cash cow of the family. They only know you when they want something. Toxicity in the household and family, man. We need to talk about it. It's happening. Some of them only want us around for the money. How much money we could give them. How much things we could. The minute you start buying these family members things and start feeding them, you know they like to drink, so you like to buy them a little stoli and crown here and there when you get paid. The minute you start buying them cool, also what? You switch it. What's good, Miss Johnson? Welcome to the show. Hi, baby boy. And listen, I'm not here to bash any family member or home that you live in, you know. But these things need to be speak on because why? It's affecting our society. They say don't marry Haitians, they just leave you and marry their own. Ask them said must be from Haiti. Oh Lord. Toxicity. Man, y'all cost me. Welcome to the Gray Area Podcast, guys. If you're tuning in for the first time, here on this show, we talk about situations and topics and things or whatever it is that are not often talked about for whatever reason. And it's not based on only my views and opinion, but I give you the audience a chance to chime in as well. If you're here now, share the link, invite a friend, Sonny, she be missing, man. Yes, Chinese too. Sonny, you turn out quite fine. Look at you doing all that fried rice. My daddy tell me to never date a Jamaican man, and I never question it. Oh boy. I don't. Some of our parents. It might be funny, but listen. If you already look at the things that these parents be telling us, and listen, all we know is scream, shout, and cut it toxic. Listen, some family, listen how some family work. You get beaten from Grammy, and daddy here, Grammy beat you, get another cut in. Then uncle right here, you get beaten, you get another cut in. Then Sally here, you get beaten. Oh, so that's how you get another cut in. That's abuse. Y'all want to break more mop stick on my back and head? No, that's abuse. That's toxic. Abuse is toxic. Abuse makes a person feel not loved, not cared for. You devalue that person. Ali Cat says, and then you want to create space. You suddenly the ungrateful child, mother sick, or someone who don't value family because you don't want to deal with the constant toxicity. Truth. You don't want to hang around them. Oh, now she thinks she better than us. She ungrateful. She don't remember where she come from. No, that's not it. I just don't want to be like y'all. I've realized that y'all are toxic. And before y'all consume me with your toxic ways, I prefer to not be around y'all. Welcome time. Some families want you to buy their love. Man, a lot of y'all elaborating on this buy. It's true. They only know you or hit you up when they want things from you. Once you're not giving them, they don't know you. That's not love. True. That's toxicity. Yes, McKin, and yes, we elaborated on this earlier. Giving your children an unrealistic sense of entitlement by telling them they basically deserve everything is also toxic. What happens when they can't have everything? I know plenty settling because it's the easy way out and they're not even happy. Facts, which is true. We settle, and it's called masking. Psychologists calls it masking. What about how they brought up, how they were brought up, so they only passing on what they know from generation to generation. So toxicity is passed on, which is true. Like grandma used to half kill them with mop and broomstick. Now they want to half kill me and talk about I ain't dead yet. Their grandma used to talk about them calling them no good dogs and this and that. Now they want to call me a no good dog. Then when I start barking, why you barking? Because you said I'm a dog. Watch him out with Cat Island now. Yeah. You know what they say about them Cat Island people. These people we call family will only be for you when you can do for them. Every time you see them, they got their hands out, but never willing to help you. And that's toxicity. You call them leeches. Being a leech is a toxic trait. And in these homes and households and these families we are in, they leech on us. They'll suck us dry until we don't have any more. And then they say, what they do with all their money? You. I found myself having to lose my Jamaican accent on the whole. I mean, going incognito just so I could have been more accepted and have a somewhat normal life in school. Boy, Anthony, I'm sorry you had to went through that. I mean, I went through that not for an accent, but because of my mom's nationality. And that's a subject. You need, don't worry, I'm going to DM you. We going to tackle that. And no one shouldn't have to go through that, having to change who they are. They can only physically and verbally abuse you because they don't know how to talk and listen to resolve a situation. Yes, these family members, you try to show them logic and show them reason and they don't understand. Or you talking foolishness. You didn't grow up like that. You're so disobedient. Like you're not allowed to have a view and opinion. Kids can be so brutal, but it's a toxic seed planted by parents and others. Yes, we see homes and households. The problem is, I remember where I come from, and that's the reason I want out. A lot of people want to be out of these toxic. Anyway, I'm doing good, keeping up with you all tonight. We only do what we see or were taught. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, but I'm sure it's an experience that made you stronger. I hope something you can teach and probably break that cycle. We need to start breaking these cycles. We need to educate us as this generation, who they call a generation of vipers. Listen, we are not a generation of vipers. It's just that y'all believe we are a generation of vipers because now y'all are seeing the facts that you, generation, prior to us, have did. These are the side effects of what you guys have did to us. These are the side effects. Oh, I never smoked weed in my life. I'm not encouraging anybody to smoke weed because I don't smoke. Never smoke a day in my life. I don't smoke the way you get this habit of smoking from. All of a sudden you pick up these habits. You stressing the darn child out. Now he's looking for a release. A release from what? Your toxicity. When it reached that point, it's already too late. When the smoking, the drugs, and all of these things, it's already too late. The smoking, the drugs, and all of that, they're not the problems. They're not the problems. The smoking, the drugs, and all the extra things that come, those are not the problem. The problem was actually the toxicity. That was the problem. Y'all got me sounding like a psychologist there. I have to make sure I teach my daughter she cannot get everything, but being the first granddaughter on both sides, Lord, it's going to be about it with her Grammys. That's fine. They can do that. Some act like you owe them loyalty. Ali, where you came from tonight, but never been loyal to you. You're supposed to be loyal because they say so, not because they give you reasons to be. Listen, and loyal, they talk about us. Listen, some family members, they'll talk about you so stinking so bad, and then they wonder why you don't come around them. So what, you don't love us, say. So all of a sudden, now you better not say. What? How do you expect me to be loyal to you? You're not loyal to me. If you're constantly speaking toxic things, talking about me, putting me down, why am I coming around you? You call me everything but a good child of God. We a generation with a mind of our own. That's the issue. Yes, they don't expect us to think for ourselves. Like we don't have a brain. We just brain dead. We zombies. They want to program us. Treat us like slaves. We are not slaves. We have the gift of free will, and y'all want to take away our free will because, oh, that's my child. Listen, I'm not telling y'all to be disrespectful to your family. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there has to be some sort of understanding. Yes, y'all are a generation of vipers. I disagree. These things were handed down to us by whom? The generations before. We only made it advanced, but it had to came from yours, the generation before us. Sonny said, Anthony Green, this is definitely a gray room topic. No lie. This brought tears to my eyes. Yes. We got to touch that. I probably have to change the topic lineup for next week. Because that, listen, anyway, I don't want to branch up talk. That was personal for me too. That, boy, listen, they want support, but never want to support you. But when you make it, they all of a sudden proud. You know why? Because they gotta now blend in to try and make it seem like I was there for you. They never support you. I don't know what you're going to school for. That's for those who don't want you to go to school. We turn out fine. You wasting your money, go to education, try to get a government job. All of a sudden, that's my girl. She finally got a degree. I'm so happy. This can't be you who was telling me. Anyway. Let me say, child, I had an aunt ask me when I was 18 if I was a lesbian. My goodness. I have to laugh. It's like these people, family members, don't think whether we are the victim or we are part of the problem. The majority of us are part of the majority of us are that toxic family member. Listen, what kind of question is that? I don't know, man. I can't make this up. And it's cold, you know. They don't understand the damage they do with you with just words. Facts. Wounds heal, but those emotional scars last a lifetime. And y'all wonder why society is like this. Ah, these some real gray area topics, boy. Biscuit said, when you go to family function, they go, how come you don't come by me? You know why? You're too toxic. You're too trifling. You're always talking bad about people. You're negative. You always have something negative to say, nothing positive or uplifting. You never try to feed into my spirit. If you're trying to feed anything in my spirit, so you think your cousin have to be so fat? You think your cousin have to do a hair like that? You think your cousin have to be, look at your cousin with this one. You think them two sleeping together? Toxicity, toxic. That's why I don't come around by you. What am I coming by you for? What are you gonna give me? Nothing except a negative vibe. You're gonna make me toxic. Now all of a sudden I sit down, we drinking Henny and crying and talking about Sally Sue and Uncle John Ray and Uncle John Doe and Jane Doe. How this one sleeping with that one. And listen, on that same note, right, we have family members that are so trifling, and we have households that are so trifling. They start rumors that you're sleeping with relatives, even if it ain't true. They start and they run with these, and they have other family members. Listen, I telling you, Uncle Joe and Uncle and cousin Jesse sleeping together. You see how they always hanging out? It's like what the toxicity in the household and family. You can't question their way of thinking because that's law. It's fact. But as soon as you prove them wrong, they quiet or mad. No, they ain't quiet. They mad. You disrespectful. You don't respect me. Boy, behave in society. What's good, Pebbles? Welcome to the gray area. Real talk. Stay putting people down and want to ask the victims after they talk bad about you and talk about loyalty. So true. They'll talk, but you so stay. Don't let you be a high school dropout and you always get kicked. All you're going to be is a bum. You're just going to end up in jail. Then after that, you turn your life around. I always knew you could do it. No, you didn't. Let me say, because I didn't bring a boyfriend around my mother. Going to verbally tell her sister, listen, family members are so toxic. They expect everybody, they want forced relationships on their children. Like, come on, man. If that ain't, life ain't just that. Life ain't just that. And then when you break up with this one, you start this one. So what you can stop up and boy, you know why? Because I'm still trying to please you, and this one ain't working out, so I have to now move on to the next one because I'm trying to please yours. But at the same time, I want to be happy too. So I trying to keep a boyfriend, but if he ain't working out because he's not to my standards, so I have to let him go and then move on to just keep a boyfriend to keep up with your satisfaction. Toxicity. Yes, Randy, because I look at some family members and only see the words they said to me as a child. And because of that, the atmosphere will always be different when I'm around them. Toxic. And they don't even try to apologize. Like, what? Say these things all these years. Now, all of a sudden, I'm a grown adult. You think I've forgotten? No, I haven't forgotten. Yes, forgiveness is key, right? But come on. You think I've forgotten you called me everything but a child of God? My mother overprotective, but she would fight for her kids. And I like that. You can be overprotective and fight for your kids, not demoralizing. You can't have success without them, child. Mother sick. Ali cat, where you came from tonight? They talk to you like a dog, telling you you're going to suffer. Heard that? Because they ain't going to help you. But when you don't ask for help also, it's like that. It boils their blood, man. So true. It's like they think you can't be successful without their input or opinion. My family wanted me to be a nurse or a teacher. I wanted to play softball or basketball. I felt conflicted, like I had to make her proud. Till this day, I feel like I wasted my time and money. Boy, and you're such a good athlete. I always thought that's where you were gonna go. I never even knew it was like that. You see what I mean? Taking control of our children's future. She asked that in front of, I'm trying to embarrass you. Welcome, Keller. What's good? Toxicity springs from what exactly? Asking a question or making a statement? Tox- Basically, toxicity, it springs from is the constant environment or the constant action or reaction, whether it's a statement, whether it's a question that is constantly asked. Sometimes questions can be asked to make a mockery, like something that's toxic in a family, basically, or in a home, is something that is constant, like you constantly seeing it, and there's no fix or solution, or there's no silver lining. It's either this is how it is, and this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it is. That's toxic. And I'm gonna give you guys some before y'all cost me do that at the last part, like last night. I'm gonna give you guys signs that you are a part of a toxic family or home. Only time you see family is at a funeral. I don't even like to go to them. They wait for somebody to die to say, "Oh, you doing okay?" And you would think that family are the people that's supposed to be your biggest cheerleaders. They're not. Well, listen, I'm not saying that family don't have a support system because you have families that support you from start to finish. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are a lot of toxic families that does not do that. And it shows that in our environment that it happens. You look at report card day, right? A parent will go to that child's school, right? And they don't know what's going on with that child. They don't know that this child don't know how to read or write, and they want to half kill that child on the report card. They slap them in front of everybody. Oh, this what you doing? This what you going to school for? But guess what? They're never home. They're always out with their significant other, and that child is left to raise themselves. Who's raising your child? Sure. Toxicity in the family and household. Trying to keep up with you all tonight. Facts. It be your own putting you down. My auntie looked me dead in my eyes and told me I will only be good enough to lay on my back. Well, what a time. Basically, she's saying you're just gonna be a prostitute or a hoe. Now, who have two certifications and about to get a bachelor's degree? Support you. And I'm glad you're proving them wrong. They like to speak these things on us. Oh, anyway, I don't want to talk bad about your family. Anthony, tell your family I love them, yeah? Hmm. Fake. That's a nice word. See, they said, yes, Tunisia, and what makes matters worse is they don't even try to apologize. See, everybody's on that same thing. Never trying to heal the damage they have done or even acknowledge the hurt they put you through. And they put us through some hurt. Brown has a good topic. Well, what are you all going to do about it? Will you carry it on or will you break the toxicity? The key is to break it. But is it easy to break? It's hard to break something that you're not used to unless we have more. It's not talked about in our society for whatever reason. Toxicity in a family and household is not talked about until a child or until an adult acts out or seeks help, and then they start to break down those barriers when it's already too late. You see what I'm saying? It's already embedded. It's already too late. When something happened and you talk to these people, like I read an article, right? Where this guy, it was in the Tribune, I can't remember which year, it was saying that the majority of the criminals, the majority of criminals, rapists, armed robbers, and so forth, and all these people that are committing crime came from a house, basically a home or family that's toxic. And what we should do to break the toxicity is try not to be even as close or near to what our family and what these households have been to us or been doing to us. That's the way we could try to start. It has to start somewhere to break it. Time said they have shape shifter spirits. Oh, flip. Would sleep with your BF or GF. Well, what a time. Then sleep with your boyfriend or girlfriend or have a relationship yet both know what's going on while you're left clueless. Would put you down to your spouse. Y'all just open up another gray area. And it's happening. You have toxicity. That's what it's called. And when you find out, they wonder why you so scarred. Well, he wasn't no good anyway. And that's messed up because they the ones you want to rely on. But I rather tell a stranger before I tell them my business. So true. Family with your business. Listen here. Your business will be all through Washington Street, Union Village, Pinedale, Peardale, Montel Heights, Zimbabwe. Shoot, they'll even reach New York. We have some parents that'll call people in New York, and then people from New York will call you and say, how come you doing your mother like this? You doing my mother like what? All the time, it ain't even so. Man, listen, this topic hit on. That's why I end this. I can't with it. And because I have a big heart, they make me feel like I bad. But the truth is, I was never the issue. Me trying to be my own person always been the issue. And that's crazy. Like they want you to be some robot. They want to program you to be who you want them to be. Talk like them, walk like them, act like them, walk like a dog and crawl like a crab like them. Tavia, you see how I anyway. That's crazy, man. They want to program us. On life, they will justify always. Also, Randy, they'll be the first ones to talk about you when you allow the emotional scars they cause to control your life. Which is true. When you start to act out and do these things, they'll talk about you. Look how stupid she acting. You the cause. Family, household, you. That's why I had to learn that blood and family is two different things. Boy, look here. Causing a downward spiral, that's what it does. A toxicity. A toxic family and home will cause you to end up on a downward spiral. Sonny said, honestly, I don't need their apologies. I've forgiven them regardless. Reason being, they push me to strive to be the best version of me I can be. So I look at them and laugh because I can imagine the talks now. I refuse to allow my kids to live in such a way. That's why, sadly, they only know so much of our family. I have to protect my kids in every aspect of their lives by all means necessary. So many family, I got my own now. And listen, whether you believe it or not, there has to come a time where we detach ourselves to these toxic family members, like she's saying here, or else you're going to devour yourselves and even your own family. And Sonny, I'm glad that you're so strong that you don't need apology, but a lot of people only waiting to hear that I'm sorry to see you take accountability. You brave, you're late. Like, listen, we, I don't know about y'all, but in our society, in our society, in our Bahamian society, family is toxic. Not all family, you know. Not, I'm not bashing saying all families because some fool would take what I say and say, look here, Jason say every family in the Bahamas. The next thing you know, they have me in a social war and they coming for me. Don't be ignorant. I shouldn't even have to explain it because a lot of people give their views and opinions, and these are people that live right here in the 242. Some families are so toxic. Family shouldn't be that toxic. Like you can imagine you already have to deal with toxicity on a regular daily basis. Then you have to come home to it. Ronnie said yes, and that's because the cycle, and that caused the cycle to repeat itself, or cause you to try to lower, sorry, cause you to try to overachieve to prove them wrong. You're killing yourself trying to get these grades. Trying to kill yourself on these jobs just to prove them you're going to be successful. I break that toxicity and I extend compliments to people who aren't even family. Whenever I meet young girls, I tell them they are beautiful no matter what nobody says. So true. Your family, if y'all see, I said it earlier, they'll tell you, why that child coming so ugly like that? You just ugly. Whose side of the family you on? They are protecting their own failures and insecurities. Yes, trying to live through you. I ain't no zombie. You are not reincarnated in me. Brown Eyes said, hurt people hurt people. Like you all said, their generation went through it, so it was passed down. Some people feel as though nothing is wrong with what they are doing because they all know in their world it's the norm. So true, and that's what I said. We become accustomed to these things, thinking it's normal. Then when we go around our other family members, we be like, gee, like what's going on? It's so weird. No, it's not weird. You just used to a toxic environment. Another thing I plan on doing is fostering my child to their strengths and not controlling every detail of their life. Yes, give them some choice, man. We're trying to enslave our children. You have to just remember that their vicious attack on you and your character comes from someone who hurt them or did them wrong. You just have to focus on bettering yourself and not being like them. That's easy to say, Randy, right? But not everybody is built for tough. Like I could curse you out as a family member, tell you, carry your stink please, this and that, your big please, this and that. But I could say it to another family and that could break them. Like this is what you actually think about me? Like why my family saying this to me? My family? And it's been proven. It's so easy to say you have to focus on bettering yourself and not be like them, right? I understand that. And I'm not disagreeing because this is a great point. But sometimes we ain't that strong. Your family is supposed to be so sacred, you should be able to tell your family anything. If your family calling you a cat, dog, or whatever, it's going to be hard to just not focus on that because that's all you're hearing. Now, keep in mind what the topic is: toxicity in the household and family. Something is toxic, something is considered toxic when it's reoccurring. It's not like a one-day thing. Like every day they calling you a dog. Oh, Lord. Lottie Cat said, listen, nothing worse than trying to get them to take accountability. It ain't happening with some of these families. Then they tell you that's your perspective. Accountability is a taboo. Oh, that taboo word so true. They have some and can't even say they wrong. That's accountability. No accountability. And why they wrong? Or they act like y'all ain't just hot falling out of one cup like everything's sweet. Listen, this is why I stay to myself. They just pretend like it ain't just happened. It's taboo for truth. Accountability and families and these households is taboo. You know, nobody taking accountability. Yeah, so what? Did you die? Honestly, you're right on the button. I've learned that more than ever for the last 3 years of my life. I would break that generational curse because my son and future kids and husband deserve the best version of myself. Keep bettering yourself. I've learned to forgive people without hearing apologies, move on, let go, love from a distance, and leave them to God. Trying to keep it with y'all. See, it's good that you gain something positive from all the negative. That's key. You have to keep pushing forward because it's not easy. And I'm glad that you said it's not easy, especially since it's your own family. Now, like that. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. Pebble said, child, when my mother passed, they tell me I ain't gonna be nobody. I ain't gonna be nobody in life because my old man was in jail. When I graduated, that same jailbird was on a scheme and came to my graduation. I ain't seen nobody else but him. But to be honest, I didn't tell them because you then bringing me down. Why should I have to let you know anything about me when you downgrading me? So true. These are personal testimonies, people. Keep it up with y'all tonight. Ain't playing with y'all. And it's so sad, man. Listen, someone toxic could be right in your family, whether you believe it or not. Right next to you in your household. Right there. And some signs that you're a part of a toxic family or household: emotional neglect. They neglect you emotionally. They are controlling. Bahamians and the 242. Haitians too. I ain't forgetting y'all. I'm Jamaicans. Y'all in the 242 as well. Let me say this again. Emotional neglect. They are controlling. Oh, want to tell me what I should be, what I should go to school for. Chronic conflict. Y'all know what chronic conflict is? It's a constant thing, man. Constantly fighting. That's all you see. You don't see they always fighting. Family members always fighting. Oh, that's how they show they love each other. That's a corrupt way to be. That's toxic. Yo, listen. Anytime you see a family always fighting, something wrong. Something is wrong. Dominance. Like they trying to dominate your life. You always got to be in control of what you do. You got to cook the rice this way. You got to boil the peas this way. And this is one right here for Bahamians. Parentification. It's forcing you to grow up so soon. They, you're only 13 and they trying to make you to be an adult already. So you better take these responsibilities. So I'm not trying to say not to teach a child responsibility. Now they want you to go work a 9 to 5, pump gas, just so you can make sure you pay some bills. Violence. Exploit. You all know about exploitation. Always trying to exploit you for money. And guess what? Y'all know what is another sign of exploitation? They make you feel like your purpose in life is just to take care of them. That's what you bought there for, to take care of me. That's exploitation. Come on, man. And listen, in our society, in our society, we are often exploited from our family members. And it's sad. And this one for me right here, a sign of a toxic family. Don't know the difference between discipline and abuse. Like we don't know the difference between we think breaking a mop stick across somebody's head is we think we think breaking something across somebody's head is a form of discipline. That's abuse. Don't know the difference between discipline and abuse. Harsh judgment and criticism. When you get married, you still have that same job? You still working for that man? When you gonna have babies? You ain't pregnant yet? What you doing with your life, man? You wanna be a bummy? Come on. These sound familiar. Chaotic household. You all know about this. Always gossiping. Always talking about people. No boundaries are set. No boundaries are made. There are no boundaries. No privacy. That's chaos. No stability. These are all signs that you're a part of a toxic family or household. Let me get to these things. I'm trying to keep up with y'all. See, I got my pointers in there before I hit that 2 hour mark. Some assume you're the weak link and try to keep you down. But honestly, I believe they can see you will be the one to do it all without them. That is a power struggle. Dominant, see? They want to say, I help you get there, sir. On what Randy said, no, it's not. But life isn't easy, so I feel like it's my own fails at bringing me down. I know nobody else can. Hmm. And that's true, To keep that there, if your own fail at bringing listen, the household and the family is a serious thing. If you're so used to being uplifted and motivated by your family, then ain't nobody could tear you down. You have that in you. If you're so used to that, look at you a strong, you a fighter, you a warrior, you're successful. Instead, they want to tear you down, and they wonder why you're so broken. And when you get to jail, they wonder why you. I'm not saying that don't take accountability for you tripping out. I'm not saying that now. Toxic people matter. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying now we have to be at a point to where we realize these things. Some people run away from toxicity at home, get married, only to end up with a toxic person. Life ain't fair. Boy, that's a serious thing. That right there. Whew. All your life you've been trying to get away from it. You right there. Some of us adults, when we have the opportunity to leave that toxic house, let me go back on this, man. Wait, Anthony, this, I don't even know what to say here. I'm still, so you can you imagine what it's like to, all your life you've been trying to get from a toxic environment and it follows you into your marriage? That's some messed up stuff. Like what to do? Like I've been building myself up, trying to get away from this and ended up right here again. Whew. Some of us adults, when we have the opportunity to leave that toxic house, we stay put instead of running and getting away from that toxic environment. When they do move, the ones who complaining about what their parents did turn around and do it to others. We love to play forgetful. We special for that. Yes, we got to break the cycle. We have to break the cycle. Toxic people matter. Let us pray. They do matter. I'm not saying that they don't matter. I'm not going to be around them, though. Mackenzie ran away at home at 14 and only visited my mom and sisters for about 4 to 5 years. One of my cousins got into an argument with my mom that seemed like they were going to fight. I don't hold it against her. She was just a kid. And when I told her to ease up, my aunt suddenly noticed the noise and came to the rescue. Pissed me the hell off immediately, so I started walking away. She called out to me. I ignored her because I was upset. She said, Eric, you hear me calling you? If you don't come, let me pull this up on Facebook so I can get the full thread. Oh Lord, the testimony's coming. Toxicity in the family and household. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this comment right up right quick. Testimony's coming. All right. Right here. Okay. Okay. I don't hold it against her. She was just a kid. And when I told her to ease up, my aunt suddenly noticed the noise and came to the rescue. Pissed me the hell off immediately, so I started walking away. She called her to me and I ignored her because I was upset. She said, Eric, you hear me calling you? If you don't come here, then don't come around me no more. And you would just walk away because you were upset. I was 16. So for the first time again, about 3 months, visiting my mom again ago. Looked the other way. She goes, Eric, that's you? My mom comes smiling like I haven't told her. Her sister is dead to me. I didn't even open the door. She had to come to the window. And all I said was, yeah, I'm older now. You see what I'm saying? These effects, like you told that child, don't come around you anymore, right? Like, come on, man. Like, what reaction you expect? For it to be gravy? Like, ain't nobody gonna listen, from you tell somebody, I don't want you around me anymore, those are some hurtful words, From you tell somebody that person is gonna make sure they're not gonna allow you to say that again to them because people have shame. People got feelings. So I'm not gonna put myself in a predicament. So I can understand that. You don't have to tell me you don't want me around you. You see what I'm saying? Oh boy. Okay, on bye tonight. That's why I love this gray room. We get to address these very issues because sadly some of us don't even know we're in a toxic environment. That's why it's generational. And it's true. Our society is built off of toxicity. Straight down to our leaders, even how they talk to us. If that's the way they talk to us, imagine how they talk to people at home. Do you realize that sometimes the way we treat others is the way that we've been treated? Where does it start? Who treated you like that? Family. Toxicity in the household and family. I got me saying this word so much my tongue almost tired. Ronnie said it irks my nerve how they always treat you like a child. You have no rights, no opinion, no value in your words. You must always listen to them because they are always right and you know nothing. Like they know everything in the world. They've been through everything. No. And I hate that. If anybody know me, know I hate that. Like your opinion trumps every opinion. No. Your experience is your experience. My experience is my experience. I'm not telling family, whether that be parents, guardians, or whoever you live with. I'm not telling you that you cannot give your opinion. I'm saying that you should not expect for us to run with your opinion and your views because we are different people. I'm gonna do what I feel is right for me and what's best for me, even if you disagree. And I hate like when people say you don't have no say. Okay, so shouldn't have a voice? Are you telling me that I'm not supposed to be speaking up? Toxicity in the household and family. If they treat you right, they wouldn't have to worry if you're going to take care of them or not. That's the sad thing to me. They ruin a good thing with the child that would give them the world to praise the one who won't even give them their last or won't even try to give back what was done for them. That's the problem with favoritism. With favoritism, it rejects the obvious. And listen, I'm not saying to not take care of your family when your family or people in your household when they get older. I'm saying some children they'll think like this. You never did. Some people, some of us as adults, we say like this. You never did anything for me. You always talk bad to me. So why am I gonna be there for you? Come on. That's how we think. I'm not saying you should think like that. I'm just saying that's what it is. Pebble said, "What's so bugging, right? They would do you dirty and tell the other family members it's you or and cause everybody turn against you. Time I lost, wondering why everybody looking at you different. They famous for that. Playing victims. And people don't even, and it's so sad, right? The authority and the power that some of these family members have on other family without even knowing the story. Some of these family members come to their own conclusions of you, and they don't even know from a can of paint. They don't even know how your A look or how your Z look. They'll say all kind of things. Like, she been bad all her life. They don't even know when it happened or whatever. They just see you acting a certain way, so they come to their conclusion. Now everybody in the family calling you whore. You and them had to talk, and they said some bad thing. You said, "Don't talk to me like that," or "You disrespectful." Now they tell all the family members you disrespectful. That's wrong. Toxicity. Like children are senile. I have memories from I was 4 years old. I have memories from I was four too. They only want you to be an adult when it benefits them. Luckily, that was never my portion. It's so sad. They think you forget, but you don't. I know it's not healthy, but you tend to hold on to these things. When you get older, you understand what it is to still have pain in you from childhood as an adult. And that's what I'm talking about right there. The effects. The effects isn't the problem ain't when they start smoking. The problem ain't when they start doing drugs. The problem ain't when they start lashing out. The problem ain't when they start opening them out and telling you. The problem is actually you. When you started, they're just side effects. Side effects can cause further problems, but side effects start from somewhere. Well, my family had a field day off the fact my daddy was a beat first and talk later kind of man. I got more lickings for things I didn't do. You do hold on to these things. Yes. Like they'll use these things knowing the type of parents you have, they'll use that against you to your disadvantage. They know your dad likes to beat. They know he disciplined first before he have finals, so they'll concoct whatever story. But I want to say, in all of this that I'm being said, I just want to say this most importantly. We have to learn how to take that hurt, right? And that pain, right? It ain't easy. It ain't gonna we have to learn to take that hurt and pain and learn from it and to basically break that generation or break that cycle while simultaneously trying to deal with our emotions and better ourselves. We have to simultaneously just basically focus on breaking that cycle while dealing with the hurts and the emotion. It's gonna be hard. Sonny say hurt people facts. You know what's the real sad part is they treat you, their own flesh and blood, like trash. But would treat some stranger with the utmost respect and care. Wow, I didn't know why we didn't touch on that earlier. Like they treat strangers better than you. Like you in the house, you can't cook on their stove. A stranger come, they cooking a 4 course, a 5 course meal for them. I love that point, Randy. Real talk. Pebble said, gotta be careful leaving your kids around them because when you ain't around, they will hurt them, abuse them. Shake my head. And that's sad because it's your own. Just because they don't like you, they would treat them just how they treat you. So true. It's happening. Toxicity at its finest. Just because they don't like you, they'll mistreat your child. You get from around here, your mind here. And that's sad, man. What's going on, T? Welcome to the podcast. Ali Cat said, honestly, have to notice the hidden message behind their hurtful actions and ways. Some chose to ignore what their parents did to them and use that as an excuse to justify their actions. So true. To me, don't say you love and want the best for me when you were the first one to tear me down and speak down on me. Soon as I chose to make my own choices, that don't make sense. You happy, but they say that they just want you to be happy. That's why they acting like that. Yet you been tell them you happy. I cat sometimes I be confused because you telling me one thing and you want what's best for me. I'm telling you this is the path that I want to go that I think is best for me, and you're not agreeing. Even if it makes you happy, they still some of them anyway. I kept up with y'all tonight. Biscuit said, people think you forgot how they treated you or talked down to you as a child. Children never forget who treat them bad. Yes. Now, I gotta make this clear. I'm not saying to be I'm not saying to be unforgiving like me. Y'all know I don't don't be like me. I'm not saying to hate these individuals. I'm saying whether you believe it or not, family or not, sometimes it's best that we detach ourselves from them, and these environments. Not because you hate them. McKenna agrees. Sonny said that's like the broken glass narrative. Oh yeah. Oh, I know where this is going. Sometimes some things are left broken because it hurts more to fix. I find that in many different cultures, adults or elders get set in their ways and feel like they are entitled to be the way they are. Okay, it's fine. You don't want to change Grammy, Annie, and cousins. That's fine. But guess who is sick of your messy toxic? You know what? Me. I'm sick of it. You're sick of it. If we wasn't sick of it, we wouldn't be in here having this conversation. And it's sad. So much different cultures have the same problem. Why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't we addressing it? Why? Are we just gonna keep ignoring it until you see things get out of hand? They be first and ask questions later because that's how they feel they should handle problems with violence because they don't know how to talk to their own child to get through to them. Only abuse. Abuse is our number one society thing. We like to use the script, spare the rod, spoil the child. Jeez, my goodness, God never tell you to abuse and murder the child. God never tell you. God, I believe I am a Christian. I might be a horrible Christian. I mean, I have horrible ways, which is true, and I have some faults. But you need to show me where it say. Show me in the Bible where it say, half kill a child until his skin ridgy and bloody, and you slap off and tear off the child's head, and then you embarrass the child, beat him up in front of school, throw mind blows on him. Show me that in the Bible. We just accustomed to abuse, toxic. Abuse is a form of toxicity. From you tell me don't come around you last sight, I agree. I must be, oh Lord, this is a live podcast. I'm sorry if the families and households see these, but we just want to bring awareness. The cycle can't continue. The cycle have to break somewhere. Biscuit said, what I dislike about these toxic family members is that they would have a whole conversation about you behind your back. And then when they see you, they acting dead friendly. What is that? I don't know why. Pretending is a serious thing. Pretending is a toxic trait. That to be fake it's a very toxic trait. Talk about me behind my back. I ain't no good, but yeah, hey, what you saying? That's a killer mentality. Well, I said, fam. Ali, oh Lord. Sonny ain't take no offense to it. All that mental abuse, some resort to self medicating excessively, drugs, sex, and so on. Yes. And guess what? I'm not encouraging anybody to do drugs. I just want to make clear. When it reaches that point to where they start taking drugs, or when they start looking for sex, or when they start looking for whatever measures to basically cope with these things, that's the side effects of the problem. The problem is the mental abuse and these toxic homes. That's the problem. The problem is in the drugs and the sex. See, we have this twisted. And whether you want to agree or disagree, it's your opinion, fine. But the problem is the mental abuse. But we want to focus on the drugs and the sex and whatever else. But we are not focusing on the problem. The problem are the characteristics of toxicity. We don't focus on them. No, no, no. We focus on the side effects. The side effects is just saying, look, it got here. That's what the side effects it does. What's the problem? This is why a lot of families are broken. Verbal abuse is the worst, especially as a child. Y'all know we don't forget. Mackenzie, one little poem I wrote about pain and what it's like to live with. So much hurt, ponds and lakes serve only as cesspools. And sure as the ocean ebbs, it flows with thunderous waves, threatening to drown him in pain. He's so selfishly polluted with them. Each trip to each trip to lighten the load he leaves with previously discarded memories. It's becoming more of a problem to take out the harsh than to live with it. But he's heard of places where the water only washes away. DDBS. And this was stuck out to me. Each trip to lighten the load he leaves with previously discarded memories. Like every time you try to lighten the load, then you remember. Mm, all on fire tonight. Y'all got me 14 minutes over my schedule. No, we ain't playing with you tonight. Osama, man. You got jokes. I'm keeping up. I'm keeping up tonight, boy. I always remember your story about. I always remember your story about Bum Bum having an accident at school. The way you handled having an accident at school. The way you handled that was excellent, and I always keep that as an example. Yes, listen, we have different parenting skill, you know. My child had an accident where she saw herself at school, and so I want a dialogue with my daughter where I want her to be comfortable where she can tell me anything so I can talk to her. And so I was asking her, what why are you not in your uniform? And listen, she had a tantrum, like she was crying and she was shaking like she was in fear. Like she was shaking like, she knew she's gonna get beaten. I was like, and I kid you not, I parked in front of that schoolyard. I turned the AC on. I was there for like almost an hour trying to calm her down because for some reason she thought she was gonna get the beating out of the word for me. And I said, Bum Bum, I want you to talk to me. I said, you can tell me anything. I said, why are you crying? I said, what happened to your clothes? And then, I wasn't like, stop crying. I didn't do that. I didn't like, shut up, be quiet. No, I did not do that. I wasn't like, well, you need to tell me what happened. Why are you crying? What you crying for? You need to shut up. No, I did not do that. I was quiet, calm. I turned on the AC and I was like, I said, you don't have to cry. I said, I want you to talk to daddy. I said, I want you to tell me why are you in why are you not in your uniform? And I was there for about an hour just why are you in your uniform? Calm. And I said, you can talk to me. I said, you can tell me anything. And she said, I peed myself. And I said, it's okay. I said, it was an accident. I said, it's okay. And then she said, yeah, daddy, I pee myself. I pee myself. And yeah, so she couldn't stop telling me she pee herself. I didn't, like, mistakes happen. I did not abuse her. Who knows where she got that thing from that if you have an accident, you're going to be abused. No. And from then I know everything what happened in the school. From then she tells me everything. She tells me, now listen, I'm not encouraging it. She tells me who's cute. She tells me who's talking in the class. She tells me who the teacher had the discipline. She tells me what she had to eat. She tells me her teacher didn't come to school today. She went to another teacher and she didn't like that teacher. She tells me everything. You know why? I didn't traumatize my child. Some of y'all would have half killed that child for peeing up themselves. You better don't pee up yourself and just traumatize that child. Every time that child pee up themselves, y'all want to traumatize them. People always People always use that spare the rod and spoil the child, but the same text says, parents don't provoke your children to wrath. That's what these parents do, boy. And these older family members too. They love to forget that. They did that? Y'all know they forget that. Oh, I like this. What do you call provoke it? Listen, basically provoking means to annoy or to irritate. That's basically what it means to provoke. To provoke means to annoy or to irritate. Sometimes parents irritate and annoy children. Like if I tell you I want to do this and this is my life, oh, you ain't gonna do that. No, that ain't what I want you to do. Come on, you irritating the child. You basically pushing them to a point where they're gonna be angry. Not saying you should be disrespectful and tell your mom, but they just think this and that. No, we're not saying that. But parents do irritate, and I'm not talking about trying to build you, trying to irritate you to do. No, they're irritating and they annoy you. They'll say the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over just because. Move that slippers, right? You moved the slippers 3 hours ago, and they're still on the subject matters of move the slippers. Come on. Nah, Sonny. Say if I get cut off, I got her. She my family. Best day of my life was when I met her, and I met her. I gained more than a friend. I gained a new family member. Yeah, Sonny is a real one. Tearing down, disrespecting, calling them everything but a child of God, abusing them. List goes on. Toxicity in the household and family. So let me get to these comments now. Oh, y'all got to break record. Provoking would be the mental and verbal abuse that parents will put their child. Irritation, that's what it is too. You constantly berating the child, making them feel like trash or less than a human being consistently. Truth, I don't hate no one. I forgave these people. Just don't play forget because I ain't forget. I won't talk. I won't even talk about the unnecessary abuse. They'll beat you for anything. Family, not only parents, family members on the whole. I agree. When they provoke you, they have to answer to God forever. They have to answer to God for that. However, it is said, honor your parents. It never gave stimulation when he said, honor them. I'm glad you say this, Felix. The Bible also says, right? Be angry and not sin. I can be angry and I can say something. That doesn't mean I'm dishonoring my parents. You can have an opinion. You can have an opinion and still honor your parents. You're not a zombie. We're not saying to disrespect. Honor basically means to give respect. We're not saying to cuss out your mother or whatever. We're not saying that. But if honor simply means to respect. Or to do something that is right towards them or morally right towards them. Like show them integrity. Honor simply means to respect, We're not saying to disrespect thing, But if let's say you have a child, right? Right? And you curse in front of your child. And your child tells you, Mommy, cursing is bad. Why are you cursing in front of me? And then you turn around and say, who are you to tell me not to curse? You a child. Is that disrespectful? No. Did they dishonor you? Of course not. We're not putting stipulations on the word honor. Honor means to respect. If I respect you as my parent, I should be able to voice my opinion, not disrespectfully. We're being logic here. Just logically speaking here. To say there's no that we're not saying to break the rules of honoring your parents, We're saying that they don't even give us a chance to speak our truth. We're not zombies. Yes, we have to honor and respect our parents, of course. Should we disrespect them? No. But at the same time, right is right and wrong is wrong. Is anyone above correction? No. Everyone is supposed to be corrected. Parents feel as though they should not be corrected. Why? Where's that in law? They feel as though children should not tell them anything. Like we don't have the audacity or the power or the capability or the understanding to tell them anything. That's so if you see your mom or dad, if they're alive, living a way where they should not live, is you telling them that the way they're living is wrong? Is that you dishonoring them? No. Honor simply means to respect. Don't care how we try to twist that up around. It means respect. Yes, we respect our parents and we love them. At the same time, we can also speak our truth and speak our opinions and speak our voice without being disrespectful. They call it disrespectful because they call it disrespectful when it's not. Because in their minds as parents, they feel as though we should not have a say, which is not true. We are not zombies. Of course, you're supposed to respect your parents. But if your parents say something that's derogative to you, is it not respect if you say, Mom, I don't like what you say to me? You a child. Come on, man. Come on. That's just my opinion. They fail to realize you can have a relationship of, of more than just a parent with your child. You can either be confident and go to and make them feel like you're their best friend. So as long as you let them know respect, you should be your go-to for your child, not their friends who would be like the blind leading the blind fox. You see what I'm saying? Well, let me get to the end of these comments because you're all on the road tonight. Listen, you're not on here to tell anybody to disrespect their parents. That's not what we're here for. Our ancestors learned from their abusive masters, Willie Lynch. That's a topic for another day. Trying to get to these. Sad thing is it's the set who call themselves Christian who belittling, disrespecting, tearing you down, and verbal abusing you. Facts. We don't play. Facts. The black nation needs mental heat, and we do. Gray area. They will constantly test you to see how far they can go before you cuss them out. Don't cuss them out, man. You can get your point across without cussing them out, you know. They want to constantly use your mistake against you. Can't miss and mess up. They will bring that up every chance they get. You see how you're going to get pregnant, you think you get pregnant and then again? Yet they love you unconditionally. We don't know what unconditionally means. Yes, you have an opinion, but how will you express that opinion? That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. We can express our opinions without being disrespectful. We can, if you want to use scripture, a soft answer turns away wrath. That applies to everybody. Let's be honest here. We can answer our parents in the softest voice in the world, and they still would say we disrespectful because we don't agree with their beliefs. Remember, we too are parents. As we walk down this path, we will see the difficulty our parents had to go through. And saying that no parent is perfect, that is why the Bible says honor, and honor means to respect. It is hard, but I'm not. We seeing what our parents had to go through. First of all, me personally, I don't want to raise my child how I was raised. I want to raise my child better. I want my child not to be disrespectful. I want them to honor me, yes, to respect me. But I want my child to have a voice to say what they're feeling if I disagree or agree with it. I don't want my child to be disrespected. You can have a voice without being this. This is what I'm talking about here. It's actually toxic to think that your child does not have a voice. I'm not saying that your child is trying to take over your house. No. Of course it's difficult being a parent, but at the same time, your child have a voice. If you go to your parent and say, I think I did deserve an apology, and a soft tone, they say, for what? What I apologizing to you for? I'm your parent. Is that honor? Honor doesn't give the parent the advantage or the control to be disrespectful to their child. If a child at one point is tired of it and they actually open their mouth and say, I don't like how you talk to me, in a sensible manner, that parent's gonna be you disrespectful. So what you gonna do about it? And get confrontational. And that's our society. Anthony said, my daddy used to say, do as I say, not as I do, only to justify what he was doing at that time. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Live by example. Bah! Lord, y'all have me over my time. That same Bible they used to abuse our ancestors, in return, they use that same Bible to abuse us. I'm not even going there today. That's a whole other gray area. You can honor someone and not agree with what they are saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, I honor my parents, but they will know. I let them know when I disagree. And that's not being disrespectful. Child's soft answer is turn them to wrath. That's what I'm saying. We have this thing that we're not honoring because we have a voice. We should not train our child to be silent. No, I want to know how you feel. I don't like, okay, work on that. Whether it's, listen, if it's in reason, then you could say that's foolishness. If it's not in reason, you could say that's foolish. If it's in reason, how could you say that's disrespectful? If it's in reason. If a child says, mommy, I don't like when you curse me in front of people, they say, carry up. Come on, man. We gotta keep it real here. Exactly, Sonny. Listen, I don't know about you, but I've had situations whereas I spoke in a soft tone and I was still labeled as disrespectful because I had an opinion. Because you have an opinion, that does not mean you're dishonoring. Honor means to respect. That's what it means to respect. Boy, these parents love to do these things in front of their children and reprimand their child when they mimic them. I'm trying to figure out what they expect to happen. So true. You should be allowed to mess up and not chastise them when the world will already do that to them. If they already feel bad, no need to add on to it. I want to elaborate on this. Messing up is a serious thing. And messing up, you can install correction. You can basically say, look here, this thing right here is wrong. Don't try to go down that path anymore. You know what I mean? Not chastising, but basically doing it in a manner of love. You can correct, you can reprimand, and you can chastise, in a manner where as you explain to them the consequences of their actions. If you touch the stove, you will get burned. If you have unprotected sex with all kind of men, you get a chance to catch an STD. If you don't go to school, then it's going to be harder for you to find a career path that you like. How you beating your child? Your child cursing, vulgar dancing, or fighting when you're doing these things in front of them. Wow. Whew, I made it. Last comment. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Ali. No more comments. I'm just playing with y'all. Y'all can't make your child afraid to speak their mind respectively. Correct. That's how you raise a leader or a person that won't just go with the flow and be led by the crowd. Listen, let me show y'all something. I should have done this before. Let me do this before I go. I like to do this stuff, so we can have an understanding. The word honor, it means high respect. See, I love the language. It means great esteem, integrity, regard with great respect. I mean, having an opinion does not mean you're dishonoring. Having an opinion does not mean you're dishonoring your child. It does not mean your child is dishonoring you. We have to break out of that cycle. That's a manipulating trait. That's toxic. To use, I'm not saying you now. I'm not saying you, but I mean in our society today, we like to use honor your father, honor your mother and your father in your days will be long. We love to use that to basically shun, to basically get away with murder. No. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Everybody needs correction. And if a child comes to a parent or a family member that is older for whatever reason, right? If a child comes to a parent and says, I really don't like how you talk to me, it makes me feel some type of way. You just a child. You stupid. But I just don't like it. No, to go around there being disrespectful. Who are you as a child to tell me you don't like the way I talk to you? The world would already be hard on them. The parents don't need to add on to it, but be here for them to teach them to do better. True. Right. Shut the mouths of their children and wonder why they're not opening up to them or hide things from them. Yes. You know why? Because we plant these fear in them that they should not have a voice. Lord, we over the limit. We've reached the end, guys. And thank you all for tuning into the Gray Area Podcast. Like I said, this is where we talk about situations and things and topics or whatever it is that people don't really talk about for whatever reason. And this is not only based on my views, but I allow you, the viewer, to chime in and to also talk about the situation. So, guys, I can't this comment. Study this you. You know, we go way back. Things like that leave room for abuse. Stop. And I pray that we take all of these, pray that we take all of these opinions from all of us. This wasn't just me. And we take these and we incorporate them in our daily lives to make our society better. To make our society better and basically make the family that we are building better and build a better future. And guys, if you have enjoyed the Gray Area Podcast, I ask you that you like and subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube page. Follow us on Facebook, whether it is adding me, Jason Bill, on my Facebook page, or you can follow me on the Gray Area Podcast. And listen, I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we are here every Friday and Saturday night. But oh yeah, before I forget, my goodness, we have a special edition tomorrow with Tamika Russell. If you guys know her story. So tuning in, that is going to be a real Gray Area subject. It's going to be tomorrow at 7, an hour earlier than the time that we go on. And we're going to talk about, basically speaking out to basically help people that are actually going through similar situations that she has been through. So y'all tune in tomorrow night at 7, right here, same time, same place, but at 7. Not same time, same place, but same place at 7. Thank you guys. Share, comment, like and subscribe and follow the Facebook page. I'm out. Y'all have me talking for hours. Woo! Bye. See y'all tomorrow.